All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the brothers out there on the four corners of the earth, preaching this truth in its entirety, in all sincerity and diligence. All right. Now I have a picture of a man, with a lining. He got a edge up, so to speak, and his beard and everything all lined up and so-called crispy, what have you. But it's clearly in contradiction with how the scriptures say an Israelite's supposed to look. I have Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. It says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard." And the corners of this man's head, you see, it's clearly marred. Nobody here is naturally grows like that, okay? It says, and the corners of thy beard. Now, when you look up in his beard area, and that word corners means side, all this is destroyed. He has none of that. And when you go into those words in the Hebrew, when you go into the word round, okay, that word in the Hebrew means to strike off. So you should not strike off the corners of your head, the hair that naturally grows in that area. It means, it also says to go around, to compass, and that's what it's around. Okay, it's gonna be another word that we're gonna get into that further explains that. It says to go around, to compass means go around, to surround, to enclose, to make round. Then it says to complete the circuit. Now the word circuit means roughly circular line or route. See, this is a route. The edge of this man's head, the corner of this man's head, in conjunction with the sides of his beard, makes a route. See, this whole line, it completes a circuit. You can't see the other side of his face, but if you would, it'd be symmetrical. It says or movement that start and finish at the same place. Now, if you look at somebody with a line such as this man, and they got there's more pictures too. You got an Edomite shaving his shit or whatever. He in the process of being wicked. You got that man. You got that brother. Now he's in the process of the other side. Basically, the other side looks as that side. So when you go into that word circuit, the other definition says movement that start and finish at the same place. It'll look like it's symmetrical. It'll look like the start and the finish is at the same place. Just like when you draw a circle, you don't know the beginning or the beginning point of that circle was drawn, because it's symmetrical, right? So that's the word round in the Hebrew, what that means. Now, when you go to the word mar, it means to destroy. And see the hair that grows within this area, naturally, go to another picture. I'm pretty sure he had more hair growing above his beard, like this guy. Those sharp corners and those crisp turns. It means to destroy, corrupt, or ruin. It's been corrupted. And it also means to pervert, not to be confused with pervert, which goes into sexual abnormality. But the word pervert means to alter something from its original course. See, this is not the original course of this man's head. You know that. Why? Because he got lined up. So the scriptures say, "Thou shalt not round the corners of your head, so you shall not enclose the Salakia. Thou shalt not." I'm just going to use some synonyms for this scripture. It says, "Thou shalt not round the corners of your heads." So basically, when you go into the word round, so it's saying thou shalt not strike off the corners of your head. Thou shalt not compass. Thou shalt not round the corners of your head. Thou shalt not complete the circuit. Okay? The corners of your head. Now when it says thou shalt not mar the corners of thy beard, thou shalt not destroy. Thou shalt not corrupt. See, you got some people, they'll destroy it totally, completely. Just straight, it'll be straight booty face in that area. So it's saying don't do that. It said don't corrupt it, don't pervert it. And the word pervert means to alter something from its original course, meaning, or state to a distortion of corruption of what was first intended. See, this is not the original. See, originally this man, clearly hairline in conjunction with his beard didn't look like that. So it was perverted, you know, it is distorted, right? I got an excerpt because I had went on originally I typed in Leviticus 19 and 27 on Google, and it gave me a passage from some sort of biblical website, and they had a point. It says it was a ritual custom of the heathen to cut or trim their beards and hair into special shapes in honor of a particular pagan deity. To honor the sun god Ra, the ancient Egyptians had their dark locks cropped short or shaved with great care, so the hair that remained on the crown appeared in the form of a circle surrounding the head, from which the halo derives, while the beard was dressed in a square form. Alternatively, a round bald spot might be shaved on the head. And you know, going into Leviticus 21st chapter, verse 5, it speaks on, you know, baldness. And you know, if a person is naturally balding or bald, or if your hairline naturally might exhibit a more symmetrical view than the natural, the scriptures say don't make it to be so. Now, if you like, there's people that look like they might have a lining that don't. You know, you might see them from a distance. They might look like they lined up, or you might come up close and you be like, oh, okay, they're not lined up. Some people hairlines just more symmetrical than others. The scriptures say don't make it so. So if you naturally like that, you're not, you know, you can't control that. Like if you balding, you can't control being balding. So that's why the scriptures say, thou shalt not make baldness upon thy head, or thou shalt not mar the or around the edges of like the corners of thy head and thy beard. So it says, it is this type of false worship the Bible forbids, right? Shaving one's beard and cutting one's hair for normal good grooming is something entirely different and not at all condemned in the scriptures. In fact, the Apostle Paul takes great pains to address proper grooming of one's hair in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 to verse 15. Now, they went off, you know, because they don't have the full truth, but they did have a point about the heathen and their customs. But what they wanted, the point was at verse 14 through 16 in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, when it talks about man shouldn't have long hair. It's not a custom of ours. Long hair is the glory of the woman. But you know, if you wanna cut your beard down, you know, if it's real, if you don't want to destroy it to the point where it's gone, you know, like if this man didn't have no lining and his beard, you know, was about that level, but it wasn't lined up, he'll be okay. You know, some people, as long as it's there, it's present, right? But Salakia, you know, other pictures like this dude, you can clearly see he got a well, he may not be lined. Well, no, that dude's lined. Salaki, he's lined. But if this dude wasn't lined, clearly his beard probably grows thicker than that. But if he got it at that point, you know, he's not going off. The lining was making that go off, but the beard is present, right? Other pictures. But yeah, it says I got a scripture because that excerpt was talking about the customs of the Egyptians in particular. But when you read Leviticus chapter 18 verse 3, it says, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. All right, so the Lord, and ordinance mean, you know, statutes and laws. We got our own statutes and laws to walk in. That's one of them. The Lord clearly told us, do not practice the customs of the Egyptians. And then Proverbs 3 and 31, it says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. We clearly was oppressed in Egypt, in hard bondage and hard slavery. The scriptures tell us not to envy none of those ways. When you read Jeremiah 10 and 2, it says, learn not the way of the heathen. You know, you continue reading, it says the customs of the people are vain. When you read Jeremiah chapter 10, and it goes in about the false Christmas worship, but applying it to this excerpt, these heathens was shaping and lining their heads and beards in accord with worshiping their gods. The scripture in Jeremiah just said, the customs of the people are vain. And anyway, the word beard means manly badge of dignity. You know, you should want to look like a man. When you read in Maccabees, Judas Maccabees always spoke about manliness, you know, and having manly deeds and acting like a man. Well, you got to look like a man as well. If you're a man, you should want to look like a man. When you read 2 Samuel chapter 10 verse 4, and it speaks about how the heathen captured the men of David. How did they shame them? They shaved them by they shamed them by shaving half of their beards and exposing their buttocks. You know, and that goes into the whole sagging thing. But they split their garment in the buttock area, and they shaved their beard. And when you further read that scripture, you know, it talks about how David, you know, put them away so their beard can grow, because they didn't want to be seen not looking like no man, basically. But yeah, you know, all that lining and all that trying to have linings and having your beard strucken off, that's first of all, is not manly. You know, a man's supposed to look like a man and a woman's supposed to look like a woman. So you got your beard cut off with this long hair. From a distance, you're not looking like a man. And the scriptures tell us we got our own customs, you know, and that's not one of them. And that's another custom that the Romans copied from the Greeks, you know. So you want to look like your worst oppressors, the damn Egyptians and the goddamn Romans through the Edomites. Now this is who you should want to look like in some type of way, because you know, I seen this image and I ain't really got no beard like that, but I seen this image of this brother and I was wooed and like I want my beard to be like this. Now look at this brother. This brother ain't got no lining. He got the beard going on. He got his fro going on. It ain't too long. You know, that's a powerful image. You know, all those images I showed with the men with the lining and the beard and all them men didn't look like they had any power. They ain't look manliness. This is a respectable look. This image, this commands respect. That's why when they see the prophets out there on the highways and the byways looking like men, it's a scary image, because we look the part and we also playing the part, you know. And with that, I just want to say, you know, Barak Atah Yahweh, Barak Atah Yahweh Shai. Hopefully some brothers, you know, was edified further on this point. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, man. Shalom.